What's good, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the Shinobi Squad Podcast. I'm fan service Renji.
I'm Shana Mostella.
A couple months ago on my Twitch stream, someone asked me, how do you not be shy at cons? That's a very good question. There's a lot to it. Is he asking from a regular civilian standpoint, as a cosplayer, as a photographer? So I told him I would give it some thought and I will get back to him. So here we are. I'm getting back to him like 2 months later, but at least I remembered. The question's been on my mind. I just didn't know how to address it. I've got it on like a little notepad. I stuck it on the wall and I look at it like every day. I broke it down into a few different subcategories because that's a pretty broad question. So in no particular order, let's get into it. How to not be shy at cons. There was times where you didn't cosplay. So as a regular civilian, how did you approach people at cons?
Basically, if it was a cosplayer that was cosplaying something that I knew something about, like say it was from Naruto or Inuyasha, I would go up to that person and just start a conversation based on the show and just go from there and just tell them how awesome their costume is.
How would you start the conversation? Like, how would you go from, oh, there's a Naruto cosplayer to starting a conversation?
I would start off by saying, hey, that's really awesome cosplay. I watched that show religiously every weekend or whenever the show would come on. And I would just go from there. And of course, if that person's not standoffish, they're going to have things to say back to you.
Yeah, they're going to reciprocate the energy. And that was one of my first points. I have it written right there. Icebreaker. Shana just said one of the examples. It's to open it up with a compliment of their costume. All cosplayers love hearing compliments. If you say you don't, then you a damn liar. I don't know one cosplayer who's just like, man, I'm getting way too many compliments today. God, I hate it so much. No. Cosplayers claim they don't want attention, but deep down, a compliment feels really good, and that technically does count as attention. Sometimes a compliment is just what it takes to open up that line of communication. And Shana took it a step further to actually explore the fandom. Some people love talking about what they're cosplaying or their shows. A lot of new cosplayers these days don't get to experience that as much because the cosplay culture has shifted. But back in 07, 08, that's why you cosplayed some of the time. You showed people what you were interested in, and other people who were interested in that as well. You guys would naturally flock towards each other and conversations would just begin. What's another icebreaker? Maybe not one that you've used, but you've been a cosplayer. I mean, you still are. What have people used on you to start a conversation? What's their icebreakers been?
Easiest one is they just asked to take my picture, and we just start talking about the show. We start talking about our favorite episodes. They'll talk about my character that I'm cosplaying and say like what their favorite things are about that person or that character, and we just bounce off each other like that.
Taking a picture is definitely another obvious one. Next to compliments, all cosplayers want their pictures taken.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, there's nobody who's just gonna refuse a picture from you. It's like everybody, doesn't matter how intimidated you might be by that cosplayer or person, they all want their picture taken no matter what. So that's always a shoo-in. Like that's always a guaranteed thing to get a conversation started with somebody.
I've definitely become friends with people based on pictures, based on them just asking to take a picture. I'm not talking about just like photographers with nice gear. I'm talking about just regular people. When I shoot videos of people at cons, I try not to shoot only series I know. I'll pick a random character that I think looks awesome, and I'll know nothing about the character or the show, but I will ask the cosplayer to tell me about that. And I've noticed generally the cosplayers really enjoy talking about who they're cosplaying and why. I've seen people's faces light up. They were just happy someone was interested in not just the cosplay, but the show as well. It's like they're trying to spread the gospel. I've watched shows because cosplayers have sold it to me so well when I go take their picture. And lastly, I've made friends because of it. Because like, wow, this person's really cool. And then we'll exchange our contact information and then we'll just keep in touch that way. The thing to be cautious about when attempting to use an icebreaker per se is when to walk away.
Oh yeah.
Shana can tell you about overstaying your welcome.
Oh yeah. I don't mind talking to people, don't get me wrong, but like if it's going on like really long, it's just like I don't want to talk about this anymore. Or I'm on the move, I'm with a group, and I don't want to hold up my group or hold up traffic as well. You know, if you're in the middle of a hallway or trying to get somewhere, like I don't want to take up too much time just standing still. I want to keep moving.
Yes, you definitely have to read the room, as they say. You got to pay attention to the situation.
Mm-hmm.
Most cosplayers will be kind enough to stop, take your picture, exchange a few words with you and stuff like that, but you have to be aware of what's going on with them. Sometimes they are just on the move, but they're not being rude, so they're going to stop and take a picture.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes people have only a certain level of comfort. They're nice enough to talk to you, but once that conversation starts dragging on, they may lose that cushion of comfort. Again, a lot of us are still introverts and we're trying.
Mm-hmm.
So people only have so much social bubble at a time.
Because I've been approached when I'm taking a break, and that's the big one. That's a big no-no for me. I had just sat down, or I just taken my shoes off for a minute, and then all of a sudden, people be like running up to me at the weirdest times. I'm like, I'm taking a break. Like, I'm not going to stand up right now just to take a picture with you or start a conversation with you because I'm trying to rest.
Yeah.
I've been at this convention for X amount of hours. I just need a break, you know?
Yep, and that brings up my next topic is find the appropriate time and place.
Mm-hmm.
Shauna said a big no-no. When someone's taking a break, when they're eating.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I've been approached when I was eating once. That was so rude.
One story I remember, we were together. We were cosplaying Ninja Gaiden at OhioCon. This dude was literally standing next to us in line, and he asked if he could take our picture. And we're like, no, dude, we're trying to get some food. We'll be wearing this all day.
Mm-hmm.
You'll find us again. Or, come back in like 45 minutes after we get our food and we eat. Dude did not leave the line. And he just kept trying to talk to us. Come on, man, let me take your picture. And then we thought he walked away, right? We got our food. We're sitting there eating. And guess who comes back and shoves a camera in Shauna's face? I know you remember that guy.
I remember that guy because then after, when I was sitting there eating, we were both sitting there eating, full plate of food, full mouthful of food. The same guy comes up to us and just started arguing like, oh, well, why did you wear that costume? Why are you here then? It's like, I'm trying to eat. We told you to leave us alone. After that, I just had no words from him anymore. I'm just like, dude, get lost.
And even though he came to argue, he still took our picture. He showed us the picture. It was both of us like mouth open mid-bite, like, ah. And then dude was like, can you guys like put down your food so I could take a better picture of you?
Wow.
We didn't even know he came back at that time until he approached us. But this dude's just off like a table away taking pictures of us.
Such an ignorant asshole.
And then he got mad that we had mid-bite faces on. Dude, we told you we were eating. Yeah. And then like Shana just said, he got mad that he didn't get a good picture while we were eating. And then he came to get pissed off at us.
He's definitely a very special type that a lot of you aren't. I know you're not like that, but there's a very special, rude kind of people out there who are just like that.
There's a lot of them out there who just don't get it. We never said no. We just said not right now. We've done that before. We're not afraid to tell photographers we're taking a break. And as cosplayers, none of y'all should be afraid to tell someone, no, I'm taking a break. I'm eating.
Yeah.
And if they want to still be dicks, tell them no again. They'll walk away and be pissy, but oh well,
I know. What are they going to do? Just hunt you down?
Yeah.
I have an example. When I was at San Diego Comic-Con, I was wearing my Predator cosplay, my Machiko. I needed to use the bathroom, and I can't wear the armor while I go use the bathroom. So I took some of the pieces off, and then I went to the bathroom. And then I came back, and I was trying to put my costume back on, and a photographer just came out of nowhere and was like, you mind if I take your picture right now? I'm like, right now? My costume's not even on. I'm like, no, dude, scram. Get out of my face.
Yes, her costume was literally scattered on the ground.
Yeah.
I was standing right next to it. That brings up the next no-no. Don't try to start up a conversation when someone's either going to the bathroom or coming out of the bathroom. That's right up there with when they're eating.
Right.
These are the two worst times. I remember I was power walking in my Bleach cosplay. If y'all know Bleach cosplays, if people want to get really authentic, they be wearing those uncomfortable straw sandals. I couldn't run. So I had to like scoot and power slide to the bathroom. I had to take the biggest shit. The biggest 5-alarm, about to flood the toilet. I don't care who smells this because it's going to be gross and I can't help it. Diarrhea shit. At a con, on top of that, I'm like hauling ass, and someone sees me hauling ass, and they're like jogging next to me. Hey, can I take a picture real quick? I'm like, dude, I gotta go. They're like, real quick. And I told them no. I was like, dude, I'm about to shit my pants. And the dude still followed me all the way to the bathroom trying to take my picture. And then my friend was finally like, dude, he really has to take a shit. Like, we are on the move for a reason. And dude wouldn't take no for an answer. He snapped a picture of me when I had my hand on my stomach, like, oh, I gotta go. Like, I got to the bathroom and I had my hand on my stomach, other hand out to push the door open, and dude snapped my picture.
Wow.
And then I came out. He's like, bro, check it out. You really had to take a shit, didn't you?
Oh my God. You're like the Fresh Prince when he was at the mall trying to get to that girl and he jumped over people. Like, get out the way.
Slow motion jump. Luckily, the guy took the picture as a joke and he deleted it afterwards. He just wanted to show me what I look like.
You get the boo-boo scoot.
Yeah. But that was definitely not a great moment. And then after taking the biggest con shit of my life, face off, sweating, hot and red.
Tattoos halfway off.
Yeah. It got so hot in that bathroom, I had to take them fake tats off. That's how hot it was. I don't want to see the guy that followed me to the bathroom after I took a shit. It's awkward. It's like, oh, you're still here, huh? As you're like fanning all the stink from yourself. Can I take your picture now? I guess. Just fanning all the stink. And then, like, he didn't even care where we took the picture. So he took a picture of me, and I'm standing right next to the restroom sign. Oh, thanks, man. I'm like, after all that, you don't even want a good picture? No, I'm good.
Wow.
Not a good time. And I didn't want him to keep that picture because nobody wants their picture standing next to the bathroom sign on the internet. But dude just walked away. I was like, oh, whatever. No bathroom pictures. And no getting dressed cosplay pictures. Shana had another incident at Los Angeles Comic-Con when she was her alien girl cosplay.
The alien head was literally on the ground. It was the same process as my Predator. There was like a harness, a thing that, I can't really go to the bathroom with, and I really had to pee. And so I had to take the harness off. So I was just literally in my bra and my booty shorts and came back out, and some photographer was waiting there like, hey, can I take your picture now? I'm like, right now, dude? Like, I'm naked. Practically naked. There's nothing on me right now that signifies a cosplay.
There's no cosplay piece at all. The alien girl cosplay, everything had to come off to go to the bathroom. The body harness had the front chest piece, the back plate, and the tail attached to it. Like, she had like a 6-foot tail. And like, you obviously know this is the cosplay on the ground, but that guy just wanted to take a picture and then steadily stayed there and tried to talk. And I kept telling him, like, can you let her get her cosplay back on first? And he's just still trying to talk her ear off. And then, like, when you finally got your cosplay back on, he, like, took one snap and walked away. I was like, after all that, I get it. I get it. It takes a lot to muster up the courage to talk to people, especially if you're a guy talking to, like, a pretty girl or whatnot. But just because you're confident and you're nice, you're not entitled to anything. You're not entitled to a conversation. And if you think that way, you got the nice guy syndrome. And that ain't cool. And that's a whole nother conversation.
Oh, yeah.
But learn to read the room. Sometimes if you can't figure it out, a cosplayer like Shana will tell you, can you give me 20 minutes to get dressed? Can you just go over there, please?
I'll tell you to leave me alone.
Yeah. Some people just don't get it. And if you are one of those people and someone politely asks you, listen to them. They're not trying to be mean. They're just telling you, give me a moment. That's it.
The very last convention that I was at, it was Anime Impulse in California. I had the worst sinus cold of my life. The worst one. But I still went because I felt okay the first half of the day. And then, like, towards the end of the day, I just could not take it anymore. So I was power walking back to the car because poor Renji and the friend that we brought with us, they're still trying to enjoy the convention. But I'm like, you guys have fun. I'm going to go back to the car and take some cough drops and maybe a sleeping pill and just knock out. So I'm wearing my boa Hancock from One Piece. I do understand because I was wearing the snake and everything. I do understand I was like a big eyesore. Like, someone's going to see me and want my picture. But, like, this day was not the day. Like, if I could take that damn snake off and throw it in the trash, I probably would have. But like I'm like scooting, I'm power walking. I'm like I looked like I was in a hurry and that I was uncomfortable. Like my whole face felt like it was gonna explode. I already had to tell somebody, a photographer, that they couldn't take my picture because I was just in so much pain. I'm like, no, I can't do this anymore. Like I'm done for the day. I'm sorry, dude. But then as I'm going through the parking lot trying to get to the car, I'm hearing like a constant but faint, hey, hey, hey. And I'm like, I know they're not talking to me. So I'm walking. I walked for like a good 5 minutes through this damn parking lot trying to get to our car. And I'm hearing this, hey, 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 like get closer and closer. And I hear feet. I finally turn around. I'm like, what? Like, I didn't mean to be rude, but like, it was just one of those things where I'm like, were you calling me from all the way back there? I was on a bitch. Had my keys in my hand. I'm like clicking, like trying to find the damn car. And then I finally turned around and it was just this dude. And I'm like, yeah? And then he's like, hey, I just wanted to tell you your cosplay was awesome and follow me on Twitter. And he hands me a card. I looked at the card. As he's walking away, I just dropped the card. I don't want this.
Yeah.
You did all of that for this? Like, he was trying to promote something that he was working on. I'm like, whatever, dude. Whatever.
Time
this
and
is not
place.
the time. Like, he literally chased me through this parking lot. And I didn't even know he was really talking to me. Because he had to have been all the way back at the start and saw me. Like, he must have seen me from, like, miles away. I'm like, really, dude? Just to promote your damn podcast or whatever it was. Oh, that was not the day.
That's even worse, to like try to start a conversation with someone and within the first minute you're promoting yourself.
Yeah. He did all of that just for that.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh, I was so pissed.
And that's a big parking lot too. That kind is that fairgrounds or something like that, and it's a big open outdoor parking lot, and it's not stacked up high. It's spread out wide. That con had so many food stalls, so for Shana to give up so early and not enjoy all the food, you know she was sick.
Oh yeah, that was the last time I got sick. That was just the most horrible experience of my life.
So we're still on the bullet point of appropriate time and place. We just said a couple obvious no's. Let's get into some okay times. How do you feel about this one? Talking to someone in line.
I've done it a couple of times. I guess it kills time because I've been in those really long ASIN pre-reg lines, and those things take forever. And sometimes it's okay. For me, it was more just killing time and trying to forget that I'm standing in this long-ass line trying to get inside the doors. But at the same time, it's like, if the line just happens to be moving, I don't like to stop and talk to someone. I just want to, get my stuff and go. But if it's like a long standstill line, like you're going to be there forever, it's nice to talk to people.
Yeah. I'm not about talking during short lines that move.
So I don't want to get distracted. Like, what if somebody takes my spot in line?
Yeah. But a long line, like a masquerade line or the line to get in the dealer's room or the reg line, and you know you're going to be there, you might as well get comfortable and make some friends in line. I've met some friends in line. It's been a fun experience. I've had some good memories in line because sometimes the line do be getting hype if you're next to the right people or stuff happens in line. Usually try to befriend my line neighbors. Just like the other situation, you kind of have to read if the person next to you wants to talk, because some people just want to be left alone. They may have their Game Boy, their Nintendo Switch, or they're on their phone and they're obviously trying to just keep to themselves. Let them be. If someone's just standing there, it never hurts just to say hi and be like, oh, so where are you from? Just some simple conversation. And if they respond, then they respond.
Man, though, but I remember this one of my very first ASINs, I had to stand in the long pre-reg line. I saw this one cosplayer standing next to me in line. He was dressed from Bleach, the one with the blue hair and the skulls on his face.
Grimjaw?
Yeah, Grimjaw. Yeah, he was, that was like one of the first cosplayers that I had really seen that was like really attractive.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, I want to know your name. I want to talk to you, man. And those early wee days, when I was a wee lass, I was really shy and didn't know how to talk to people, especially at a con. But I'm like, damn, he's standing right next to me, checking me out. I'm like checking him out. I didn't know what to say, but.
I want to lick your hollow hole.
What? I was like, shorty, fine.
For those that aren't fans of Bleach, the character Grimjaw and his classifications of enemies, they all have holes in them somewhere. So that's why I made the joke. I want to lick your hollow hole because they're hollow, so they have a hole. How do you feel about when you're in line and someone that's not in line just comes up to you? Like they're making a way across the con floor and then they stop and they come and talk to you out of nowhere.
At that point in time, especially if I'm in cosplay, or are you just saying in general?
Either or.
If I'm in cosplay, that's a definite no because I don't want to stand there. Like, you're going to get a picture of me with all these people standing around me. That's not a good picture. I wouldn't want that. But if you're just trying to approach me to talk to me, I don't know. I still wouldn't want that either. Because I'm like, this is not the time or place for that.
You're not in the line crew. Yeah, it's weird for me too. It's like, I don't mind talking to people in line when I'm in line. But when someone's not in line and they come over to talk to me, it's kind of weird.
Yeah, it's kind of like that you don't want them to steal your spot in line or think that someone's cutting and like you feel awkward. It's like, no, I don't know this person. They're not cutting. I just, you know.
That's true. I didn't even think about that aspect. I just thought it was just weird in general.
Yeah.
Now that you say that, yeah, I don't want that attention on me because we've all seen that play before where someone's friends come and talk to them and then as the line's moving, they're kind of walking and talking and then next thing you know, right before they get to the door, they're all of a sudden cutting in front of their friends.
Right.
And then the people taking the tickets or checking badges just think they're all together. But boom, they just all cut. Yeah, it's like, shoo, go away. You're gonna get us, you're gonna get us all kicked out of line. Another appropriate place I think would be at like the group photo shoot meetups or room parties. Those are gatherings where people want to meet people. They want to see other people who like the same series, the same show, or the game. I think there, once everyone gets there, I think it's an appropriate setting to just say hi to people. Just randomly go say hi because why else would they be at the group shoot if they didn't want to meet other people that were into that show? Of course, same rules apply. Don't overstay your welcome. But you should be able to feel like a little more relaxed to be like, hey, what's up? I'm Renji. I really like this character. Or what did you feel about the season finale? Like, that's a great way to just say anything, really. I mean, don't say, I want to lick your hollow hole off the jump. But, you know, how do you feel about people talking to you at room parties, being a girl?
I think it's appropriate because it's the appropriate setting. It's kind of the same thing like if you go to any party or any like social gathering setting.
Yeah.
If you're at a club, if you're at a dance or whatever the case is, like I think that's the perfect setting because that's what you're there for.
Yeah.
You're there to mingle and it's perfect. I'm drinking, you're drinking, we're all dancing, having a good time, you know, and it's the perfect time to meet somebody.
Yeah.
And that's honestly why a lot of people go to parties and things of that nature, just because they want to meet people and mingle.
Yeah, especially if it's like an open room party. If it's a private amongst your friends, I get it if like a stranger shows up. But if it's like a public party or a public gathering, then I think it's fair game to just try to say hi and talk to people. One last thing I want to mention before moving on. When it comes to meeting new people or making friends at a con or a cosplay event, dressing up in any costume or cosplay really helps. It really puts you at an advantage. Depending on what you wear, people will do the job for you. They will come to you and ask you for pictures and ask to talk to you. They'll cut out all the awkwardness of making you approach someone. Depending on how hot the cosplay is or how hot the show is, that may be a bad thing because people are going to keep coming up to you. People are going to keep taking your pictures or whatnot. So being in costume definitely helps in that way. People are going to be excited to see your character, so they're going to want to know you. On the other end of that spectrum, it gives you an excuse to talk to other people cosplaying from the same series. There's been times where I've seen someone cosplay from the same show. If I notice that they're alone, not to be creepy or anything, but I'd be like, I would introduce myself first, and then I would ask them, hey, do you have a group? Are you here with anybody? There's been times where I've said, you want to just walk around together since we're cosplaying from the same show? I've made numerous friends like that. One of our first anime expos, we started with one fairy tale character, and within 2 hours, we had a group of 10 people just walking around the entire con. And all we literally did was stand in one spot, and then we'd be like, oh shit, it's so-and-so. Hey, come here. Fairy tale. And everyone would just get hype. And then more people from the fairy tale cosplay groups would just see us and be like, oh shit, more fairy tale people. And then we would slowly adopt people and they would come and go. But that wouldn't have been possible if we weren't in cosplay.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, we met one of our good friends like that too, because we were cosplaying from near Automata, and we were missing 2B, but we were 9S and A2, and then we saw a lone 2B, and we did the same thing, and she was looking for our characters as well.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, I've been looking for you guys. And Shauna's like, we've been looking for you. And then all of a sudden, we had a complete group of 3. We just hung out for the rest of that day. And then after the con day was done, we went to the bars together. We met her friends from New York. And now we're all friends.
Mm-hmm. That was a fun time.
It was.
I have a Polaroid of me and her sitting together as A2 and 2B. It was epic.
Like I said, sometimes you don't even have to approach them. The shit just happens.
Right.
So definitely wear cosplay. It helps so much.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't even have to be what's popular right now, because cosplay's been around long enough to where there's new people getting into it, and they want to cosplay stuff that they've always wanted to cosplay. Like, people were so tired of seeing Naruto cosplays, right? Because Naruto had a big boom in 07.
Right.
It kind of started dying down, but then like Naruto has made a big comeback in the cosplay scene. So, of course, people new to cosplay who've always wanted to cosplay Naruto but never could back in the day, of course, they're going to revisit Naruto or these other shows that they wanted to cosplay before they were cosplayers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, hell, that's what I'm doing now. I'm revisiting characters that I thought I couldn't make. There's no pressure to cosplay what's new or what's popular. Just cosplay what you want, and you will find that fandom.
Mm-hmm.
But on to the next topic. This one's more geared towards like photographers or videographers or just people out there trying to create content at the cons. And
the first point is be presentable. Don't come off looking like you're a creeper, stalking people, trying to take their pictures from afar.
Don't sound like some mad scientist's sidekick. Can I take your picture?
That's a lot. But yeah, always be presentable like you would for anything. If you go anywhere, you don't want to show up looking not your best.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying go all out and wear like a suit and tie. I'm just saying don't show up just sloppy with a whole bunch of gear you don't know how to use. Just be presentable and just come off very simple, very easy. I seen this one person, this one photographer out in the California area that I always used to see. And he would be lurking in the background of everybody's picture, everybody's setting. And I'm like, who is that guy? And like, he just always looks so unkempt. He had a semi-decent camera with him all the time, but like, he never approached anybody. He would always be taking pictures from afar. And maybe that was his thing. I don't know. But the way he did it and the way he came off was very like creepy. And I don't know. Like, I've always seen this guy. I've never actually talked to him or ran into him or had any interaction with him, but I just remember seeing him just in a far corner or just, I don't know, he looked like he was playing Pokemon Snap, you know?
Yeah.
Trying to take pictures of people candidly or whatever his thing was, but it didn't come off as genuine or friendly. It just looked weird.
That's bad and creepy if he's never approached you and actually talked to you, but you always notice him in the background.
Yeah, see him at every convention out there.
Dude, this is a convention. You're not shooting for National Geographic. You don't have to hide because a tiger is going to rip your face off. Like, you're at a con. It's one thing to wait in line to take a picture of someone. Sometimes cosplayers do get flocked and flooded. The proper thing to do is wait till it's your turn. Don't stand off and snipe in the background like this guy's doing,
Right.
because people think you're creepy. I've seen a guy do that as well in California, and a girl noticed him and yelled at him. She's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I'm just taking a picture." She's like, "Of her? You need to go and ask her. Don't take it all the way from here." The cosplayer was at someone else's setup.
Yeah.
This guy had a nice setup waiting for cosplayers. And from the angle dude was taking pictures from, you know he wasn't getting any actual good pictures of the girl. These were creep angles because he was 90 degrees to her. So if she was facing her photographer, all creepy dude would have shot was her side because she's not faced his direction. The other cosplayer was trying to like tell his dude, get up and ask her. And the guy's like, you can't stop me. And this girl was like, the hell I can. And she just stood in front of every shot he took. And then he would walk and go try to take a picture from somewhere else. And she followed him and made sure he couldn't take a picture of that girl. And then dude finally gave up.
What is with these persistent people who just, all we have to do is the right thing. It doesn't take that long.
Yeah.
So why can't you just go up there and ask somebody?
Yeah. There were other photographers waiting to take her picture. The shoot she was doing while the photographer was changing his lens. The other photographers would be like, hey, is it cool if I shoot you next? And she's like, yeah, just wait there. So that's all dude had to do.
He just wanted to be difficult and strange.
Yeah. Wait in line and then ask when you're up there. Don't just assume you can take a picture because you're next in line.
Right.
As we said earlier, she might be getting something to eat. She may have super mad diarrhea like I did. And she might tell you, hey, I'll be right back. And please don't be the guy that just picks up his camera and nods his head. Someone did that to me, and I'm like, you caveman ass bitch. Use your words like an adult. 2 people before me took my picture. I thought we were done. And then this third guy brings his camera up.
Wow.
The hell's that mean, dude? Are you nodding me like, good job? Or nodding me, hey, is this your camera? I didn't know what he meant.
Is this your camera?
Anyways, back to being presentable. That says a lot about you. It's like, yes, you're at a con and you should dress comfortable. At the same time, you're trying to be a photographer. You're trying to ask people to trust you to take their pictures and not do creepy shit with their pictures. So sometimes that takes a little bit of extra polish to build this trust.
Especially in this day and age when so many photographers have been being called out left and right for being creepy.
Oh, yeah. Photographers have been going down one by one these last few
Dropping
years.
like flies.
Yeah. So thanks to creeps like them, the rest of y'all got to do a little bit better to portray a positive image. Like so many cosplayers have been scarred by that, especially a lot of girls. A lot of girls don't even let guys shoot them at cons anymore. If they don't know you, they're not going to shoot with you. You may get to snap a picture, but you're not going to be able to get to do like a side shoot or like a mini shoot with anybody. If all else fails and you don't know what else to wear something that shows your fandom. That way, people can break ice with you as well. Oh, you're wearing a Zack Snyder Justice League shirt. Conversation starter. You could talk about Justice League with people. And then that can transition to, hey, can I take your picture? Not saying wearing a fandom t-shirt is going to be the end-all solution, but at least for some cosplayer, it puts them at ease that you're at least a fan of something, that you're not just some rando there. I don't know how it is in other parts of the country yet because I haven't gone to a lot of cons outside of California these last 6 years, but in California, there's a big rise on photographers that have no business being at cons. There's like former wedding photographers there trying to drum up business. There's just flat out creeps that think they could take your picture and sell it on their website. Shana had that happen to her. So Shana got tagged in this dude's Instagrams. We followed the tag to his Instagram to try to get copies of the picture. Shana remembers doing the shoot with him. She just forgot his contact information. So we're like, hey, can we get these pictures? He's like, yeah, they're on my website. So we go to his website. Lo and behold, this dude is charging for cosplayers' pictures. He has hundreds of albums of cosplayers that he's trying to charge for. So then Shana snapped on him, was like, yo, why are you selling my pictures without my permission? Oh, oops, I accidentally set it on paid. But when you look at this dude's website, it is definitely like a pay-to-view site. It was kind of like his own private version of OnlyFans. You get to see 1 or 2 pictures for free, but you have to unlock the whole set. Then you had to pay to download the pictures. We reached out to this guy, and then at first he said it was a mistake, and then we told him, well, put them for free. And then he still kind of argued with us. He's like, well, I'll just give you your pictures for free. Yet he still was trying to sell it. So anyways, long story short, we had to get other cosplayers involved before he finally turned his whole page free. Because a lot of these cosplayers didn't even know this dude's been doing this shit for years.
Wow.
Yeah, like he had pictures that went back 4 or 5 years, and he was trying to sell everyone's pictures.
Who's buying these pictures, I wonder?
Who knows? Because he had like just cosplay pictures, but then he had like boudoir cosplay pictures. So this dude been running this game for a while.
Right.
Again, some people could be paying for that stuff, you know, because there's photographers now that have Patreons or OnlyFans where it features their work, but their models are all different cosplayers.
Mm-hmm.
So who knows how he was getting money, but obviously he was doing that for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
This next point is very vital for photographers and just con goers in general. The follow-up. Throughout the weekend at the con, you're going to meet a lot of people. How you turn those into friendships or long-lasting relationships is how you follow up with these people.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I would recommend following up that same day. Say you met a handful of people, follow up at the end of the night. Go on their Facebook, their Instagram, and just give them a recap. Hey, it was nice meeting you. I was dressed as Naruto at the Naruto group. Follow up, remind them where you met them or what the situation was, and leave it at that. Hey, it was nice to meet you.
Mm-hmm.
Hope to see you around tomorrow at the con. That's why I say follow up that day, because then now when you see them again, you have reason to talk to them if y'all were cool. I know we get busy at the cons and stuff like that. We may not remember or have time. At the very least, follow up on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Go back and revisit all the people you met, because then these people will also be reminded who you are. And now you guys have something to talk about and take that next step into turning this into some kind of a friendship.
Another thing to keep in mind is when you exchange your contact information, be happy that someone's trying to give you their social media, because for me, for an example, I only like giving out my social media. I never like giving my phone number out. If it's my phone number that I'm giving out, it has to be for either something I'm applying for or something of a more professional setting. If it's just you wanted to text me all day or whatnot, I'm not with that. So don't be mad if someone doesn't give you their phone number, because a lot of people don't like giving out their personal information like that.
Some people aren't phone people in general anyway.
I'm not.
Some people don't like to be bothered instantly. Like getting someone's phone number is demanding instant attention.
It is. And it's also, to me, it's really old school. Like, I'm old school in a lot of things, but when it comes to phone numbers, I kind of feel like if I'm going to give you my phone number, I'm going to give you like a house phone number or something like that, because honestly, why would you even want it? Because I'm not going to sit there and talk to you. I'm not going to text you all the time, especially if it's someone I don't really know like that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to text you back all the time, or even at all sometimes. Like, if it's on social media, I feel more comfortable to talk to you at my own pace, and it doesn't feel too personal.
Yeah.
Because everyone has my social media. You can find me anywhere, but for me to give you my phone number, that's weird to me. And that's one of my number one pet peeves, is when people ask me for it's like the number one cringy thing that someone can ever ask me, and I just drop them after that. I'm like, nah, dude, no.
I tell my guy friends that all the time. Be happy with whatever contact information you got, especially when a guy's trying to ask a girl. Some girls don't even want to give you their social media because they think you're just on some sexual, I'm trying to hook up shit. So just to demand a phone number, like, you're just ruining anything you got.
Right.
And again, I tell people, just be happy you're in contact with them, whether it's on Instagram or Facebook. Yeah, they may not see your message right away, but at least they're getting back to you.
Right.
I have friends who I have their phone number, and even like my good friends, we have different levels of communication. Like, yes, I love talking to them on the phone, but there's a time and a place for that. That's like a quote unquote play date. Like, you know, we set up time and we'll just talk and catch up. There's still things that I will text them, and there's other things where I'll just message them on social media. If it's just some random bullshit small talk stuff, I'll message them on social media and they can get back to me whenever. But if it's like something urgent, like, hey, I got shot, you know?
Right.
You know,
I got shot.
I'll text them or call them. Okay. Maybe not that drastic.
That'd be me. I would only call somebody if I got shot.
What are you doing that's getting you shot in these streets? Sean out here being gangster. They'll know, okay, he's texting me or he's calling me. It must be something important versus just some social media bullshit.
Right.
So even though these are my best friends, we still have a system of like how to communicate with each other.
That too, like, I'm only going to call somebody if it's urgent. Like, if I need to know something right now, or I need to do something right now. When certain people have your phone number, sometimes they don't know when to not cross the line, I should say. Is they'll just call you all the time or text you all the time. It's like, I don't care about any of this right now. And I'm not the type of person to sit there and talk to you on the phone. I don't even know who you have to be in my life for me to call you like that. But it's not going to be all the time, and it's not going to be frequent, and it's not going to be for very long. If I talk to you on the phone, I'm talking to you about something life or death or something serious or urgent. It's not going to be because, like, I just want to hear the sound of your voice. And, you know, I'm not like that.
Yeah, and some people have their different boundaries, you know? It's like, I personally enjoy talking to my closer friends on the phone. Or sometimes if I want to catch up with someone, we don't have to be like best friends, but I just may not feel like typing and texting everything. I'll be like, hey, can I just call you and just tell you everything in 15 minutes versus 3 hours worth of texting?
Oh, if it's tea, I'm going to spill the tea over the phone. But if it's not tea, then I'm just like, I can message you on Messenger or whatever.
I don't like texting long conversations.
Right.
Like, that's not my shit. I would rather just talk to you and just get it out of my life.
The people that text you that don't know how to say full sentences in one full text, they got to say something and then something else and then something else. And
Send. What are you doing? Send. Hey, send. Oh, bitch.
Just sum it up in like a paragraph and like let that be it.
Oh my God. Makes me miss the days where they used to only give you 100 texts a month and you'd have to pay.
You have to say everything you needed to say in that one text.
Oh my God. One of my friends was the master of being cheap with his text messages. He's like, hey, I'm not paying for any more than 100 text messages. So if you don't send me a paragraph at a time and use all them characters, I ain't gonna even talk to you.
That's where that choppy text stuff came from, because you knew you only had that one bar to say everything you need to say, and that was it. I wish we could go back to that, honestly.
I know. It makes you really reconsider what you have to say, and you just say what you need to say and get it done with.
People have way too much damn freedom out there now.
Yeah.
It's so bad for me, the whole phone thing. Like, I don't even like when I'm at an office job or like some kind of job where I need a phone. I hate when people call me. Like, I used to take the phone off the hook at work just so nobody would bother me for a while, because I hate when people just call me, say one thing, and then hang up. Call me, say one thing. It's like, I have a radio. Just radio me. Do something other than this right now. Like, it's such a pet peeve for me. It just grinds my gears and burns my insides up.
So the follow-up is very important, and how you follow up is very important, because that's what will establish a better friendship with these people. And that's just on a friendship level. I'm not even talking about on like a dating level. Like, people ask me all the time, they're like, how do you have so many like friends in the con world? Like, how do you keep up with so many people? A big part of that for me is the follow-up, because right after the con, that Sunday when they get home, or Monday, that's when the con feels hit people the most. They're like, oh my God, this con was so amazing. I'm missing all my friends already. So they're already thinking about all the people they met, but they don't always remember all the people they met, all the names and faces. So that's when you slide up in there, hit them up, and they'll be like, oh shit, I do remember you. So now that really warm heart feeling you get at the end of the con, now you're associated with that feeling because you just reminded them that you were a part of their happiness that weekend. And people will remember that for a long time. So that's you're in to begin a friendship with them. Not saying just because you do that, you get to message them every day for the rest of your life, but it's the start, you know? That's another thing too. Once you do the follow-up, you need to slowly pace yourself in their life. Y'all ain't best friends yet, so just chill with all that.
One more note about you photographers out there. Please give the pictures that you take back to the cosplayer or back to whoever within a month. That's all I'm going to say, because I've had photographers who just take too long and I forget about the damn pictures. And I'm like, I don't even need this anymore. Like, I've had photographers give me my pictures from a convention 2 years ago, and they'll be like, oh, yeah, by the way, here's your pictures. I'm like, from when? From when? I wasn't even at a con. That's like during the pandemic, too. I got an email from a photographer. I'm like, I wasn't anywhere.
Yeah.
Well, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Comes to find out, this convention was, these pictures were like from 3 years ago. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
Really?
I'm so tired of the backlog excuse. As a photographer that takes paid shoots myself, I make it a point to give all my clients back their photos within 30 days. I expect that from other photographers, unless they give me a disclaimer first. There are some photographers that I like to work with, and they will tell me, yo, I'm like 90 days out right now. So if we shoot, you got to give me 3 months. And that's fine, because I know what I signed up for. I'm sure Shana's just talking about these guys or girls that just randomly pull you aside for a shoot. And if you're going to do that, if you expect a cosplayer just to give you 30 minutes, an hour of their time at the con, then you better have some decent turnaround time, because they took time for you. You should be able to at least edit one picture
Mm-hmm.
and give them back that hour of their time.
Or if you know you're so backed up and you got a whole buttload of pictures, then don't take any more.
Mm-hmm.
Finish the ones that you have and then go and do something new.
I don't expect all these cosplayers, photographers to give back entire shoots within 30 days, but hell, at least give the cosplayer one good picture.
Mm-hmm.
That's it, something. Some photographers like to stack up shoots at cons because they know they only go to 3 or 4 cons a year, so they feel they have the whole year to spread out that editing.
Right.
But cosplayers these days don't think like that anymore. A lot of us cosplayers are tired of waiting on photographers. A lot of us have taken time to learn how to shoot ourselves now.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with the rise of OnlyFans, a lot of these girls out there have just learned to take their own pictures, and they're satisfied with their work that they're not looking for cosplay photographers anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So if we want to keep cosplay photography a thing, we need to give people reasons to seek this out. And if some of y'all who aspire to be pro photographers or want to start charging for shoots at cons, the first thing you need to get in your head is quick turnaround times. Because for what you can't do within 30 days, someone else definitely can, and they definitely going to get that business from you.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm not expecting some of these cosplay photographers who are super busy and do go to a con every couple weeks. I don't expect y'all to knock out a whole shoot for people every month and give it back, but at least give them one picture. That's it. Then most cosplayers will forgive you and be like, all right, he gave me one picture. I didn't pay for this shoot. Versus them going, oh, didn't I shoot with you 2 months ago? I still haven't seen those pictures. I'm sure there's photographers that you no longer work with because of that.
There's photographers that I don't even really think of anymore, honestly, because I'll let them take my picture. Like, as long as it's just a snapshot, that's fine. But these photographers that, take too long or they do a whole shoot for me or whatever, like, most of the time I don't even, like, think about them anymore because it's just, like, it's more for them in my eyes.
Yeah.
And if I really want to see the pictures, I'll find them. But to me, like, I've already let go of that just because I know it's mostly just for them and their portfolio and their practice. And if I have the patience for it, that's cool. You got something for me.
You can use my picture for your portfolio. Don't expect me to promote it.
Right.
Don't expect me to share it. That was like 2 years ago, like, especially for people like me who have just like totally not taken care of themselves during the pandemic. It's like, I don't even look like that anymore.
Right.
It's like, that's not even me, bro. Like, who is that skinny guy?
Or if it's like something really bad, like they got my bad angles or just didn't know how to do the lighting. I've had that happen before.
Yeah.
I told them straight up, I don't like the pictures. Please don't post these anywhere.
Yeah.
Or at least don't tag me in it. Like, don't tell anybody this me.
Yeah. Listen to the cosplayer. If they don't like the picture that you're posting and they ask you to take it down, take it down.
I was dressed as Aquaman. I just remember I had just got through eating lunch and I had like a cheese stain on my face or something like that. And he didn't even tell me and just posted those pictures. I'm like, I have a stain right on my face.
Yeah.
Right here. You can see it. It's yellow.
I remember
it's
those
yellow.
pictures.
What are you doing?
You had like a glob of mustard. That's what it was.
Yeah, it was something yellow. Like, you could clearly see that. And he posted it and said, great job. I'm like, great job for who? Not you. Because he got all the bad angles, all the bad lighting. He just did not know what he was doing. I'm like, dude, if you ever post these pictures ever again, I'm going to slap the shit out you.
Yeah.
I'm going to find you and slap the shit out you. No.
Yeah. So definitely bad rapport. That's a bad way to develop relationships with people.
Oh, yeah.
So that segues into my next point. How to not be shy online. Things like the follow-up and things like listening to the cosplayer's feedback of your work definitely will set the tone. Shana's example, let's just call the photographer Mr. Mustard. If Mr. Mustard hits her up again, Shana's not going to want to work with this guy. She's not going to even want to talk to him. He'll be like, oh, I see that you're going to Dragon Con. I'm going to be there. Do you want to do a shoot again? Shana's going to be like, hell no. You posted pictures with mustard on my face.
I know. How am I going to trust you after that? You could see it. It was like yellow, like a ring around my mouth.
As the photographer, it is your job to tell the cosplayer when something doesn't look right. Trust me, a cosplayer will be more grateful that you told them there's mustard on their face than you not saying that shit because you thought they would take offense to it. When I shoot with photographers, I'll tell them straight up, make sure my belly don't pop out because this shirt's kind of tight. If I bend over, like my butt crack comes out, like I know where the flaws on my outfit is. So I tell them and I trust them to look out for it and be like, we can take time, but just make sure I have my shirt pulled down all the way because my belly comes out or wrinkles the wrong way. I don't want to be looking crazy. And I'm sure you, the photographer, wants pictures that you can use too. When I shoot people, when I'm on the other side of the camera and I do my paid shoots, I'll ask people straight up, is there any parts of your cosplay that give you trouble that we should avoid, or if there's something I should look out for? Because I know what it's like to have the flaws of my cosplay show. At the very least, if I can't work with these people again, I want to at least be their friend. I want to at least, when I see them at cons or if I see them online, we're cool, you know? It's like, and all that comes with the communication. Because if you want to follow up and not be shy online and become friends with them, these are things you have to do. All right, so we're on to the last bullet point of how to not be shy. So by this point, hopefully you've done the initial follow-up after the con. Couple weeks, months go by, you guys haven't talked or chatted or whatnot, which is fine. It happens to all of us. Now you have to reintroduce yourself to this person somehow. A great way to start is just interact with their posts. Don't just hit like. Don't just do a reaction. Some people don't like that. Shana doesn't like that, right?
No.
Didn't you just take that off your Instagram?
Oh, yeah. It was, you know, on Instagram when you can send somebody, when you see their stories, you can send them emojis as a response.
Yeah.
I took that off, and honestly, I just took off all my messages for that because I don't like when people send me, like, just emojis. Because another pet peeve, I'm weird, I'm an alien, but I have another pet peeve where if it says I have a message on Instagram, like that like red number on there, I don't like when it's just somebody who's just sending me junk mail.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to read it, and then like, you know, I hate having to go all the way in there and like read each one, because then I get a bunch of those. I used to get a bunch of just people sending me emojis. So I don't want to, like, I know it's just junk mail, so instead of just deleting the whole thing, like, I hate having to click each one to see happy face, smiley face, laughing. It's like, oh, whatever, dude. I take my message seriously. So if I get a message, I want to read something and be like, you know, I want something more than just an emoji. So I just cut all that shit out. I know people just do it, like, you know, to react to what you're saying or whatever your story is, but like, I just don't like junk mail.
The moral of that story is you're not going to stand out.
Yeah.
You're not going to stand out by just clicking like, doing smiley face, because you're going to blend in with all the other people that do smiley faces.
It's just going to annoy me.
Yeah. In Shauna's case, it annoys her. For other people, you're just forgettable.
Yeah.
But when you start commenting and saying things, people have to read what you said. Then they look back and see who said it. Let's be honest. Most people don't even look who clicked like anymore. You may have got the notification, and then
I don't.
And then at some point it'd be like 100 people have liked your post, and you may have saw the first 2 names, but then the other 98 you didn't even look to see who liked it anymore. That's what we've come down to on social media. We're just like, yeah, okay, cool, but who's really saying something? And sometimes it's the people that use words, not emojis, that stick out. So that's why I said, so when you respond to someone's post, try to do more than click like. If you want them to remember you because you want to build some kind of friendship with them, you need to do more than what everyone else is doing. That leads me to the next point. When you finally build up the courage to direct message someone, please have something to say. I don't know how many times Shana or my other girlfriends, I mean, not meaning I have a lot of girlfriends, but my other lady friends tell me they hate when a dude just messages them and says, hi.
Hi.
When you see someone message you hi, what comes to your mind?
I delete them.
Damn. That's something a lot of people do. If you just say hi, what are they supposed to say back? Sometimes people will say hi back, and then the conversation just ends there. I always tell people, if you're going to message someone, message them with a purpose. Say something. Don't just say hi. You can't message someone, then expect them to entertain you. You reached out to them, so now that you have their attention, make it worth their while. Okay, you said hi, they read your message, now what? And if I don't respond, you better not hit me with another hi. And then turn around and be like, why you so stuck up?
And if I don't say anything to you, if I just leave you unread, don't hit me back again with a hi or, oh, that's why you ugly anyway. It's like, I was ugly when you said hi to me the first time. Like,
Mm-hmm.
what is me saying hi to you back gonna make any of this better for you? Like, honestly.
A lot of people on the other end do sit there and read the hi and be like, what am I supposed to do with this?
Right.
What am I supposed to say? I don't know you. You reached out to me. Have something to say. So that's why I say, if nothing else, it's been a few weeks, it's been a few months since the con happened. Reintroduce yourself. Hey, Shana, it's me, Renji from Yomacan. I met you at the Bleach shoot. I was Grimjaw. How are you doing? I just wanted to follow up and, just say hi.
See, that to me was very pleasant. Like, I would read that and be like, you know what? This person took time. He wrote me a message. He didn't just say hi or send me an emoji. Like, I'm going to delete that right away, honestly. Straight up. But that makes me feel special. It makes me feel like you took time to think of me and, like, reach out to me. That's more heartfelt. That gives me more of a reason to respond to you in a natural way.
Yeah, and it shows you, the reader, that this person also took time to think of what to say and to show you that they remember you too, that they made that moment special to them.
Yeah, it just makes me feel like I was important enough for you to come back to me and talk to me.
And then for him to remember the details that he met you at this situation and he was wearing this and you were doing this. And it's like, that goes so far. It sounds simple, but it goes so much further than hi.
Because that gives me something to reply to. It gives me something to go from there with.
It opens up the conversation because then Shana could reply, oh, yeah, I remember meeting you. I really liked your cosplay. And then Shana could reply with a question, or going back to you reaching out, make sure you leave them with something to respond to. Hi, I'm the Grimjaw from the Bleach shoot. How are you doing? Have you gone to any cons lately? Are there any cons you're looking forward to going to? Simple questions that you probably generally want to know, because if y'all hit it off as friends, you definitely want to see this person again. So you would naturally want to ask these questions anyway. And these are safe questions versus, hey, you got a man? You're reaching out to them. It's up to you to provide them something to follow up with. At the very least, it's up to you to entertain them because they're taking time out of their day to read your message.
Another big rule is don't be pushy. If someone doesn't respond to you right away, it doesn't mean that they don't want to, not necessarily, it doesn't mean that they don't want to talk to you. It just means that maybe they're just in a rush. Or in my case, I might just not want to respond right then and there. So maybe I'm at work or maybe I'm doing something. But that's why, again, I don't want people to have my number because I don't really like keep up with that. But if it's online, if it's something I can see and go back to later, that's better for both of us, basically.
Yeah, I have a bad habit of reading people's messages and not responding right away. I kind of tend to overtalk. Sometimes I tend to say too much. So when I reply, I don't know how to reply short and brief. So then I have to have a rough draft in my head and then I come back and reply and say it later. Sometimes I want to reply with something meaningful. I don't always have the time to type it right then and there. So don't be impatient. I've seen so many dudes be like, well, I sent that person a message and then the next day I was like, question mark. Why would you hit question mark? Like, well, I'm waiting. Like, you're just being a dick.
Yeah.
And most people will get back to you in a timely manner.
And if you do that, delete.
Exactly. So many people demand a response right away. And some people are stupid enough to type, I know you read this. What do you hope to accomplish by saying that shit? Like, you're just pushing these people even further away. Whenever they respond, that's when they respond. That's when they're comfortable. And then you just need to be happy that they responded. So that opens up an opportunity for you to talk again another day. And that's how you build these relationships. And that's what helps you not be so shy. The more you practice these things and the more you understand there's a certain time and place and time spans, the more you will feel comfortable just reaching out to people.
When it comes to talking to people and approaching people, just remember, if you take the time to do something, the person that you're trying to reach out to will appreciate hearing from you. You might not get a response right away. Just keep that in mind, but just go for it. You might get a pleasant surprise out of it. That person might reciprocate your feelings back. Like, maybe they want to be your friend too. You never know, because maybe that person's shy too. Go for it. That's all you can do at the end of the day. And the worst thing that someone can say is no, or the worst thing that someone can do is not respond to you indefinitely. At the end of the day, at least you tried.
Everybody wants to make friends just like you do. A lot of people in the cosplay community don't know how to go about it either. You just have to be patient with yourself and don't give yourself some ridiculous timeline of when you were supposed to be not shy all of a sudden. And don't give the people you approach a timeline. Everyone is learning together. And one last thing to keep in mind is not everyone's going to like you. Not everyone wants to be your friend. And that's okay. Because if you really think about it, you don't like everyone. You don't want to be everyone's friend. Don't take it personally. Maybe you guys just don't mesh. This person may like monster trucks and watches only Dragon Ball Z. So you're not a monster truck fan or a Dragon Ball Z fan. So y'all don't mesh, and that's perfectly fine. It's not like this person hates you. It's not like you have to declare war on this person. Not everyone's going to be your friend, and that's okay. Cherish the people that are your friends. All right, y'all, let's wrap it up. Hopefully, y'all have learned something about how not to be shy. Hopefully, I answered your question out there, person that I won't name who asked me this. Those are just some of the things we have experienced and some of the things we have done to not be shy. Shana and I have been on both ends of this world of trying to make friends and people trying to become friends with us. So, hope you guys learned something. That's all I can say. Any last words, Shana?
Don't send emojis. Don't ask for people's phone numbers.
Okay. What if they want to send you like a pigeon mail or like a raven, like on Game of Thrones? Send a raven. Honestly, if someone could send a raven to my house without me telling them where I stay, I'd be their friend.
I know, right? Like, you could do that. How you know?
Walk outside to your car, a raven. Caw! Oh, shit. Land on my arm. That'd be kind of creepy if a raven did show up. Like, first off, how do you know where I live?
Right.
And where the hell did you get a raven?
But could do that.
Talking about ravens, that means I've gone on too long with this podcast. Hope you guys have enjoyed what you've heard. Hope y'all have learned something. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of the Shinobi Squad Podcast. I'm fan service Renji.
I'm Shana Mostella.
We'll see you guys next week.
Bye, guys.